Okay. Do this, shall we? That's about the long and short of it. Long and short of it, even. In other words, all of this, everything that's happened, is my fault. All of you are victims who had the misfortune of knowing me and getting dragged into this. No apology is sincere enough, but I'm so sorry for what you've been put through. I'm not following. Why? I heard all you said, but I don't think you've got any reason to be that sorry. Come again, Estelle? Based on what we've learned, Phantasma choosing a new master was an inevitability, and choosing it would not have done whether you were there or not. Or whether you smothered cheese on a math teacher's radio. As such, after it lost the Oriole, something like this would have happened no matter the circumstances. I agree. Phantasma would simply have chosen someone else and created a different world as a result of the trauma that lay within. Pretty much. 2 p.m. style. The thought that you might have been chosen is nothing short of terrifying, too. Everything that happened to us in here so far is nothing compared to what we would have endured had that come to pass. Oh, Mueller, your words are like the sweetest kiss turned frozen upon parting. Do you have that little faith in me, your one and only? Perhaps everything here would have been drawn into the ravenous feast the world has ever seen, but nothing more than that. Nothing more, even. I'm scared. I'm just disgusted. You're a special degree of creep, you know that? I want no part of any feast that comes from out of your brain. Count me out of this one. Yeah, but feel you guys are kind of missing the point. Point style. Point guard, even. Well, don't take this as me trying to defend you or anything, but in a sense, it might have been a good thing you were chosen over everyone else. How do you figure? I'm lost as well. Your stigma's obviously very powerful, and it's capable of exerting a lot of control over things. Enough so that Phantasma, as it is now, exists in a state of order. At least it's not a state of confusion. But what if it had chosen someone else? Would the world have been able to maintain order then? It's possible that Phantasma would have been able to contain the chaos that ensued and gone out of control under someone else. Is what you're essentially getting at, right? I knew you'd understand, Joshua. If that had happened, a whole lot more people might have been caught up in this. Now, not that I've got a problem with lots of guests at a tea party. The more the merrier. Come on, Ren. I think you're the only one who'd be having fun. He's right. I don't think you've got any reason to beat yourself up over this and punch yourself in the wiener. We're all very different people from different walks of life. But right now, we're all here sharing a common destiny. Yeah, in times like these, we've got to help each other out, right? Besides, This place relates to the Oriole, which is Libero's problem. From my perspective, you're a victim. I couldn't agree more. As such, Kevin, we would appreciate you continuing to lead us, as you have done so far. It's time to truly bring an end to what was started half a year ago. What can I even say? First I'm stupid, then Reese pulls off the dumbest things I've ever seen, and now you guys. This must be the biggest group of idiots in all of Zamoria. I swear, you wouldn't find a more gullible, naive bunch anywhere on the continent. Except for maybe Beaver City. I was happy to use each and every one of you for my own devices right to the very end. So how can you be so... It's alright, Kevin. Kevin style. Kevin. Sometimes you just have to know when to give in. And you're at that point right now. Your luck ran out the second you got stuck with us. Got stuck with you, you mean? Spending too much time with pushy, meddling do-gooders who don't know when to quit like you is bad for anyone. You want to say that again? Well, all of those things describe you to a T, that much is true. They certainly do. I think they're your good points, though. Indeed. Yeah, so do I. I think Estelle's rubbed off on all of us at this point, and that's not a bad thing. Thanks, guys. Group of idiots is right. We're smack dab in the middle of a shitty situation here. You wouldn't know it by looking at us. With a team this spectacular, what do we have to fear? There's a chance we could even overthrow the Erebonian government if we ever put our minds to it. I don't know about all that. Need I remind you, that's not something an Erebonian prince should be saying out loud. Alright, I know when I'm beat. Win this together. And this time, I actually mean that. Got it. We're happy to have you with us. Anyway, at least now we know exactly what we need to do here. We need to defeat Rufina, the Lord of Phantasma. There's no getting around that. Unfortunately not. Indeed. With that said, just where is she? You didn't encounter her in Gehenna, did you? She disappeared right after the two of you fell down there. That's a good question. I think it's safe to say she wasn't down in Gehenna with us. If she had been, she would have shown herself at some point. Yeah. But then where is she? She's obviously down in Beaver City. I believe I can answer that. Celeste? Didn't realize you were here. I can't thank you enough for saving our hides earlier. Truly. I doubt we would have been able to get out unharmed if not for your assistance. Whatever happened to Gilbert? We're both grateful beyond words. I was more than happy to help. All of us here are in the same predicament, myself included. You can even think of me as another one of your companions if you'd like. I don't know about all that. Naturally. What kind of answer are you thinking you can give? Ah, yes. It took some time, but I was able to ascertain her current location. I bet it's an undisclosed location. What? Really? Is that what you've been working on all this time? Yes, it is. During my investigation of the seventh plane, I was able to gain an understanding of the layout and contents of Phantasma as a whole. Oh. I also discovered that the Lord of Phantasma isn't in any of the planes. Rather, she is outside of them. Phantasma consists of more than just planes? I bet there's jets, too. And helicopters. What's it like outside of them? Think of the planes you've been exploring like a giant multi-layered structure in the center of Phantasma. That's all you have known up until this point, but this world consists of more than them. That said, the rest of Phantasma is just a vast barren wasteland at this point, abandoned and devoid of life, kind of like New Jersey. Hard to picture without seeing it for myself. You know where in this big abandoned wasteland she is? Welcome to the wasteland. Because if it's that vast, just knowing she's there probably isn't going to help us much. I have a relatively good idea where in it she is, thankfully. Although that doesn't solve the core problem. I fear the word vast doesn't do the scale of the wasteland itself justice. I believe it's roughly the size of the continent where you live. Oh boy. It's the size of Zamoria? Good lord! Even with a bamboo anti-calculator, that's going to take forever to search. That is going to pose a problem. Crossing an area that massive on foot would take months, maybe even longer. Do we not have any other means of transport that we could use? High-performance helicopter. That's all I'm saying. I'm not sure my power would be of any use to you here. I can't place monuments too far from this garden, for one thing. Even if we did commit ourselves to trekking across the whole thing on foot, without the cube's power, we couldn't come back and resupply. Trying to take several months' worth of food hardly seems realistic. Indeed. Hardly style. Well, this is a tough one. I can only think of waiting for her to come to us. What's up with you, short stuff? Got something on your mind? Well, I was just thinking... Why not use the Arce? What? The replica we encountered on the first plane? Yeah. This world is supposed to react to the desires of people in it, right? So while that Arce might not be the real one, it looks just like it. Everyone here is pretty familiar with the real thing and how it looks. So it seems like a ship we could all picture flying easily. Maybe if we all wish for it to fly together, it might actually happen. There's an idea. Sorry, I'm being silly, aren't I? I don't know what's gotten into me. This isn't something an engineer should be saying. I don't think you're silly at all, Tita. In fact, I think that's a fantastic idea. Idea style. You do? It does seem like the easier something is to imagine, the easier it is to have it realized in Phantasma. And both you and Julia are familiar with the exact structure of the RSA, but most of us here have seen and been on board it. This might actually work. There's clearly no rule saying airships can't exist here, either, given that we've already been on the Black Ark. That's true. Well, Celeste, do you think it would work? The Arcee was the ship you used to board the Liver Ark, I believe. Then if I were to feed the image of it flying, then back into the system, I think this may actually be possible. Oh. If all of you are on board, the White Wings will take to the skies once more. Oh. We can finally make this happen. I can't believe it. I can't believe what they've been saying about our Phantasma sports teams. Well done, Tita. Totally. You really outdid yourself this time. Wait a second. Does this mean we might be able to make the Bobcat fly? There's a copy of that here, too. Oh, you're right. How many of you are familiar with that? Crap, forgot about that. I think Josette and I are the only ones who have actually flown in it. Shira, Olivier, and I have technically been in it, but that was just as stowaways. Yeah, that was back when we were investigating that airship hijacking. Way back in the first game. Mwah, and such. What a fond memory that adventure made now that I look back. I'm not sure what the odds of success would be then. That's a rather small number of people. I think it would be wise to focus on trying to revive the Arcee first. Aww, okay. Still, this sounds like a much better plan than trying to walk there on foot. We should prepare for departure at once, then make our way to the Arcee. Don't gotta tell me twice. We'll have a lot in store for us if we're able to make this work. However, I should warn you all of one thing. Once you have flown the Arcee to the area where the Lord of Phantasma awaits, that will be it. You will be unable to return to this garden ever again. Please be mindful of that. So basically that's the point of no return. Once you go there, that's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. Never? Not even once? So make sure you do everything you want to do, like do all the doors and all that. All those shenanigans. Because we won't be able to use the cube's warp functionality anymore. Correct. Using it to warp is only possible when you are within a certain range of the garden. Go outside of that, and it is no longer possible. That's a shame. A damn shame. Public shaming. So before you depart, I would ask that you make absolutely sure you have everything you need, and are ready for whatever you may find there. Good to know. It wouldn't hurt to do some extra training, then. I don't doubt we're all going to have to play our part in the things to come. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't mind getting in some exercise myself. Wouldn't want to wind up being the one to drag the group down. Group style. This will be our last opportunity to open the doors scattered throughout the plains and take anything we find, too. Probably best I step down as leader for the time being, then. If you're just door hunting or trying to get some extra practice in, I'd only get in the way. If anyone else wants to learn how to use the cube or fill out my notebook, I'd be happy to teach you. Just let me know. Let's just be sure that when the time comes, we'll leave with no regrets. Right! Right style. Right said Fred, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, even. Chapter 8, The Future We Dream Of. It's the final chapter, by God. So now here you can have anybody you want. Which is pretty awesome.
No problem! Shall we?
Okay. Piece of cake.
Piece of kizig.
Right!
Let's see. So we want to start leveling characters that are in the lowest level. 110, 110. It's like 110's the lowest level.
Yeah.
Dueler style, even. Doctor, priest, and engineer are golfing behind very slow golfers. When they ask the course manager, well, what's going on? Those are firefighters who lost their eyesight saving our club from a fire, so we let them play for free. That's too bad. I'll get in touch with optometrists to see if we can fix their problem. I'll say a prayer for them and hope they recover. Why can't they play at night? Classic. The good one. Ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Alrighty then. Let's upgrade your orbiments. Mueller. Mueller style, even. Classic. Ruby gem style. Move 3 as well. That. Alright. So if you talk to her here... Ren gave me quite the surprise when she summoned her friend. Still, while it may have been possible to do so, unexpected actions like that in this world take a serious toll on you mentally and physically. I would suggest not doing things like that any more than you have to. Incidentally, I have one piece of news I think you may be interested in hearing. The area Kevin and Reese fell into is not the only part of the 7th plane that exists. I've discovered another much more vast area there. Yep. I also have reason to believe that it's filled to the brim with devils, as well as highly dangerous, so it's basically an optional dungeon. Nonetheless, I placed a monument down there to serve as an anchor should you wish to explore. You know we gotta do that. You should be able to warp there using the cube. The Abyss is now accessible. Oddly enough, also the name of the optional dungeon in the Wild Arms series. Imagine that. It is now possible to warp to a new area on the 7th plane through the warp menu. The area contains countless powerful enemies, devils included, making it the perfect place to efficiently level your party members. And get those 400 battles that we need. Where are we at, by the way? 304 battles, okay. So we still need to get into 96 more battles before we can do that. So going through the Abyss will definitely help out with those shenanigans. Shenanigan style. Alright. The sixth plane. Celeste taught all of us the true nature of the world we are in. Unfortunately, though, she has no idea what the Lord of Phantasma wants. I might well know, but everyone agreed to wait until I'm sure for me to say it. For now, we need to continue exploring. After sleeping for so long, I'm full of energy. Let's go. We arrived in a recreation of the Herb Scenic Route. On the Saffril Monument was a message from the Lord of Phantasma. It seems we'll need Princess Claudia with us to go any farther. We arrived in a black and white Royal Academy. Let's look around. Defeating all the Black Knights in an area brought color back to it. Maybe there's something to this. The old schoolhouse gate opened. We fought the Ravens. By the sounds of it, they are copies of the real Ravens created to stop us proceeding. Furthermore, there seems to be someone very strong waiting for us ahead. We should take care. The sixth plane, too. We defeated the first Guardian, Philip. By the looks of it, we'll need to overcome several trials like the ones we just did. Either way, we should be able to move on to the next area now. Let's head back to the scenic route and check another monument. On the Ambrel Monument was a message from the Lord of Phantasma. It seems we'll need analysts to access the next area. The next area is the Lakeside Lab Ouroboros once used as a base. The laboratory itself has been flipped like it was reflected in a mirror, however. We defeated Grant. We can guess who else awaits us here now. We obtained a red keycard. We defeated Karna. Spelled wrong for some reason. It goes without saying who's next. We obtained a green keycard. We defeated Kurt. And it appears there's someone else here too. We obtained a blue keycard. The sixth plane 3. We defeated the second Guardian, Kilika. Judging by what she said, we're halfway through the sixth plane now. After taking a break, we should head for the next monument. On the Carnelia Monument was a message from the Lord of Phantasma. Seems we'll need Richard to access the final area. The next area is Leyston Fortress. This isn't going to be easy. We defeated Lieutenant Colonel Sid and obtained the barracks key. We defeated Kanan and obtained the command center's key. We defeated General Morgan. We all know who's waiting next. Still, we've come this far. We can't turn and run now like a bunch of spaghetti vendors. The sixth plane 4. We defeated the third Guardian, Cassius Bright, and he was as ridiculously strong as we thought. Still, we were able to overcome him. Now only one area remains to conquer. To the final monument we go. On the Noble Monument was a message from the Schwarzritter, not the Lord of Phantasma. It seems we'll need Joshua to access the final area. The final trial will take place on a black copy of the Glorious. Let's head inside. Inside one of the cells, we found a very despondent Gilbert. Let's get the poor guy out of here. Thanks for saving him, he gave us a security card. We defeated Don, Kyle, and their company employees. We should be able to go to the forecastle area now. The door to the sanctuary is open. Let's head inside. We defeated Blue Blanc, Walter, and Luciola. The path to the final guardian is open. The 6-Plane 5. Time has finally come to settle things with the final guardian, the Schwarzritter. Let's head up the stairs. His role fulfilled, the Schwarzritter can rest in peace. Defeating him should have gotten rid of the barrier on the scenic route. Let's go back there. There's a strange mist in the air where the barrier once was. We'll have to head through it. Astor House. We found ourselves in Astor House, the Septian Church Gospel facility where Reese, Rufina, and I grew up. There should be some clue as to how to reach the 7th plane here. Let's start looking. We can't go inside the chapel yet. Let's look elsewhere. We checked the living room where we once ate our meals. We checked the kitchen where Rufina, Reese, and I once cooked. We checked the matron's room, but there were no clues there. We checked the kids' room where I slept when I was much younger and would often wet the bed. We checked the boys' room, which Reese often wandered into to wake me up when I overslept. We checked the girls' room where Reese and Rufina once slept. We checked the well, which we had to draw water from manually. It turned out Reese had the chapel key all along. Let's use it. In Gehenna. The Lord of Phantasma's true purpose was to punish me, and I had willed them into existence to do just that. The 7th plane was made for that purpose, too. But the second Reese ended up down there, my will to accept my punishment there died. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, you just said that. I slew Owen, the first heretic I killed, a second time. I slew Owen, the first heretic I killed a second time. Why does it say that twice? I laid the unfortunate Elmer to rest a second time. I defeated my mother's ghost. Let's just move on. But by refusing Weissman's offer to become a superhuman, I was able to unleash the light side of my stigma. Fighting Astarte, Rostrum, and Weissman at once wasn't easy, but we did it. To our surprise, Gilbert appeared, and we were surrounded. Gehenna's gate opened, and our allies came to our aid. Indeed they did. Finding the Lord. We're looking for Jesus now. From Weissman, we finally found out the truth about how Phantasma came to exist in its current form. Either way, the most important thing now is stopping the Lord of Phantasma. To my amazement, no one blamed me, even after knowing the truth, so, you know, let's do this. Together. We need to go outside the plains. We decide to place our hopes on the Arcade taking us there. Once we leave, we won't be able to return to the plains or garden. We'll need to fully prepare to leave. Train, explore, doors, masturbate, etc. Once we're ready to leave, we should let Celeste know. We can now access a new area in the 7th plane full of devils. It'll be dangerous, but perfect to train ourselves. One time when they were doing birthdays, when one of the birthdays was listed 2 times. Apparently that person had 2 birthdays. On the same day. Rat bastages. Alrighty, anyway. So we want to do our final rounds around here. I guess you could call them rounds, even though this place is very small, but, you know, whatever, dude. Shut up. Nobody likes you. Going on over here? Somebody's finally up here! About time! It only took the entire game. Oh. And so the end is finally upon us. Part of me would rather remain here than return to the no doubt mountains of work that eagerly await my return, however. Not to worry, Olivier. No part of you even has a choice in the matter. I'll drag you back to the real world by your ears if I must. How could you, dearest Mueller? Must you always be so cruel? Yes, he must. Always. I wonder if that's really true. Huh? What's up, Shira? I think Annalise is masturbating over there in the corner. You know you left one of your cards on the table, right? Oh, I know. It's been a while since I had such a good result, so I've decided to leave it there in honor of the occasion. He's going to leave a Legend of Heroes card on the table. What kind of occasion? But we can recover our CP. Also, if you check the fountain like this, there's something shining in the water. You who fight with deep resolve, return when you have chosen your path through 300 battles. Which path you take is yours to decide, whether it is the path of the brave or the path of the cowardly. You are not brave, neither are you cowardly. The path of the brave is closed to you. You still desire a boon, you must walk along the path of the cowardly. So basically what that means is, I mentioned this at the very beginning of the game, but you get a special item here. Basically there's like 2 different quartz you can get. One's the reflect quartz, and the other is the mirror quartz. You get the reflect quartz if you do 300 battles without running away, and the mirror quartz if you do 300 battles by running away. So, you know. So you can do that if you want. It's not really that important or that great or anything, but yeah, there it is. So we're not going to bother with that. I already got the achievement for it, so don't really need to do that. Ha! Looked like an enemy was masturbating. Wow, she's so focused. I'm gonna have to start training harder if I don't want my rival to be soaring ahead of me. Rival style, even. Of course, it's highly recommended to go and do all of the doors at this point. The final star door is actually in the abyss, so you have to go in there if you want to do all of the doors anyway, so... That's a valid point. I don't think we can discount the possibility there may be foes inside the RC. After reaching there, Major Vander and I will assess the situation before the rest of us step inside. Once those checks are complete, we'll check the state of the main engines before attempting to activate the ship itself. As for the personnel on the bridge... style. Hi there. We're just about in a state where we can get the RC moving once we're ready. But we aren't going to be able to resupply once we depart, as I'm sure you well know. Make sure you're well rested and ready before giving the word to leave. Also now we can do the hard version of the arena. So we'll probably crank that one out first. Might as well. Some here may believe being called to this world was a coincidence, but I don't feel my presence here is. Golf style, even. No matter whose will it was that I was summoned to Phantasma, I've gained truly invaluable experiences there. Now all that remains is for me to make the best use of them I can in my life going forward. Getting laughed off stage, even. Oh, here's Gilbert. Don't talk to me, please. I'm too tired to move another muscle. Just leave me alone. Classic. Come on, get it together. If you're just gonna loaf around here, we're gonna leave you behind. Thankfully, Gilbert didn't become a playable character. That would have been terrible. He would have been the worst playable character ever. I'll tell you what, man. With the Arcee's speed, I don't think it'll take long at all for us to break out of the plains. Mom was actually able to raise its top speed with a few improvements the other month, too. So that'll be a really huge help. Huh, really? Hope I can meet your mom someday. I'd love you to meet her, too. I'll have to introduce you to both my parents one day. I know they've been looking forward to meeting you and Joshua. Come over any time when you get back to Liberl. Oh dear, are you being naughty again, Reese? You're supposed to be getting ready, not stuffing yourself full of food when you think no one's looking. I'm doing no such thing. No one's looking style, even. This is purely a taste-testing exercise. Exercise style, even. Five years ago, Kevin and Rufina did all they could to help me and save me from danger. They might not have regretted the outcome, but that doesn't change their intentions, or how important they both are to me. That's why we need to defeat the Lord of Phantasma together. One episode when Greg finished the show when he talked about when a professional golfer killed himself, when another professional golfer was arrested. For Rufina as well as anyone else. Yeah, you're right. What are you doing here, by the way? Ensuring the army has enough in the way of rations is key to any operation. That's what I'm doing. Laugh and I will whack you. It's weird how it feels when we've known each other for such a long time, but when you think about it, it hasn't been that long at all. True enough. You know, I might as well tell you this now. Right now, I'm pretty damn jealous of you, Joshua. You are? When you think about it, we've walked fairly similar paths in life, right? But while I'm still feeling my way around in the dark, we managed to make it back out into the light again. I didn't really feel like this when you were finally free from the stigma and able to move on and all. But now, that's a whole different story. You know, I think I know why, too. It's probably because before now, you'd given up on ever being able to come back to the light. That now you want to believe you can again. Man, you got me all figured out. Heh, pretty pitiful of me, huh? Maybe, but there's no harm in that. Before that, though, we've got to get out of this world. But as long as we believe in ourselves, I'm sure we can manage that. For sure. Good times. Anybody down here? Ooh, what do we got here? There are several issues of the liberal news on the bookshelf. You have done well to read all of my fragments of knowledge. In praise of your inquisitiveness, allow me to grant you my blessing. Received a single Esmalus circlet. Oh. So that's basically for reading all of the books. Or whatever. So that unlocks, I think, the second game's newspaper issues. Don't remember what that thing does, though. Let's see. A circlet of Ismailus that grants heaven's protection. Various stats up and prevents ailments. Except for KO. But, yeah. It's not bad. Huh? Why aren't you hanging out with Tita, Agate? Did you get berated by Shawnai Course again? The hell kind of question is that? I'm not her dad. Besides, she's with her friend right now. It's fine. Oh-ho. What? You got a problem? Not particularly.